Hi, I'm Phil. Welcome back to Rovensden. Today I'm bringing you another review of an album from Cellar Music. This one is Cory Weeds Home Cookin. Now, again, I just want to call attention to the quality of the actual presentation itself. These jackets are just phenomenal, and I love the artwork here on this jacket. It just really, if you can't look at this and say, that stands out on a shelf in the store, you're something's going on with you, because this is just so fantastic. It's original, it's artistic, the color schemes, it's very well done. And not to mention the cardstock itself. And then on the back, again, as I talk about the essays here, I think this one's from Cory himself, dated June 2023. Fantastic that we're still getting this with Jazz Records. And then some nice photos there, not a gatefold, of course, but and then the vinyl itself, as I mentioned in my prior video from Cellar Music, the quality of the pressings itself. And this is a nice thick, I didn't weigh it, definitely a thick, maybe 180, and flat as a pancake, which is an oddity. I mean, I've purchased 10 new records probably recently, and every single one of them warped, including the Rhino Hi-Fis, Mo-Fis, but 3 that I get from Cellar Music, all of them completely, absolutely flat, and sealed as well. So, it's just astonishing that we're getting this kind of quality and attention to detail from them. Now, to talk about the album itself, of course, I'm positive you could probably get this on Bandcamp, and it features Cory Weeds on the saxophone, Chris Gestrin on the piano, John Lee on the bass, Jesse Cahill on the drums, Steve Caldestad, lead alto, James Danderfer on the tenor sax, Dave Say on the baritone sax, Brian Harding on the trombone, Jim Hobson on the trombone, Brad Turner on the trumpet, Chris Davis on the trumpet, and the musical director being Jill Townsend. Of course, it's produced by Bill Kuhn and Jill Townsend. Now, this album, coming from May 5th, 2023 is when it was recorded, is a fantastic addition to anyone's jazz library. And I'll talk about the track breakdown here for you. The arrangement of Home Cookin, just from the outset. It takes the already fantastic song by Horace Silver. A big fan of Horace Silver myself, and so thankful that Cory and crew takes a stab at giving the big band treatment to this jazz classic. Adds to it in a way that feels like you've been transported to the center of a smoky jazz club, surrounded by the best musicians this side of the century. It's the throwing back and forth between the horns that all of these guys are doing is just absolutely mesmerizing. It's fantastic. It's magical, as I've said many, many times. The soundstage on this pressing as well, just immersive. It really feels like you're there in the room with all of these musicians surrounded by such talent. The depth is deep. There's great separation between the instruments, not muffled sounding at all, very clear. The low end is great, the mids and the highs, all fantastic without sibilance being there or a loss of anything. It's a really well done presentation, well done engineering on this and production. Now, Cory's own Blossoms in May, from his first album as the band leader, Big Weeds. This song here on this benefits in big ways, given the small band arrangement. So what's going on here is Cory's taken songs from yesteryear, more modern even, and given them this small band treatment, many instruments going on. And that's not that, I mentioned the Blossoms in May. It's not that Mike Ladon's organ is in need of replacement from that original, but its addition here is more like his contribution on the original, is a very dreamlike experience. Along with the amazing guitars of Peter Bernstein, but the full band treatment just treats this already great song, which I really have enjoyed streaming. It gives you the much needed reboot you didn't know you needed until you hear it. And the wonderful thing is that both exist, and both shine for entirely different reasons. That's just the start of the many enjoy tracks that are on this entire record. And closing out the album, again, for those fans of Horace Silver, we've got Metamorphosis, and that is exactly what Cory has done with this in an absolute fantastic way. Of course, Jill and the gang, just with their adapting it to Cory and gang, it gives a new spin to this gem of a song and makes it a listen that anyone would certainly want to listen to again and again. Even if you added it onto the end of the original and made it the extended cut, I think you would really gain enjoyment from it. Just a fantastic production. And I really, again, I'm thankful for the essay on the rear as well from Cory, and talking about why he chose the songs he did and how they came about and how they were arranged. It gives you a peek behind the curtain, as I said on my prior video. It really helps, having it on vinyl, all worth the while, as opposed to streaming or something like that. So again, Home Cookin' by Cory Weeds, I highly recommend it. It's a fantastic thing, and I've spinned it many times already. I've listened to it 3 or 4 times within the last couple of days of receiving it. Because more than just the review, I really have enjoyed listening to it. And in fact, my son said, "Dad, didn't you already listen to that?" I said, "Yeah, I'm listening to it again because I really enjoyed trying to pick out the different horns and the seeing where everything was and who it might be." So very fantastic. All right, well, thanks for tuning in. I hope you stuck it out this far. Remember to like and subscribe. Just hit that notification bell. I've got one more review coming from Cellar. This one's a live album. And, again, I've said many, many times, but I hope that you all get a chance to listen to these albums that I've reviewed and realize that, without a doubt, there is magic in the grooves. I will see you next time.